Did you know owning a dog can lower your risk of depression by nearly 25%? That's not just cute fluff, it's hard science. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how dogs boost our mental health, backed by research, real stories, and practical ways to harness their healing power. Quick question before we dive in. What do you think is the #1 way dogs improve mental health? Companionship, exercise, or unconditional love? Drop your guess in the comments. We'll reveal the surprising answer later. Ever wonder why just petting a dog instantly calms you down? It feels like magic, but it's actually biology at work. Research from Harvard Health found that spending just a few minutes stroking a dog lowers cortisol, the stress hormone, while increasing oxytocin, the same bonding hormone that flows between parents and infants. So instead of doom scrolling when you're stressed, try a 5-minute cuddle session with your dog. Treat it like a daily reset button. Your pup might actually be a more effective stress reliever than that pricey meditation app. Picture this. A veteran struggling with PTSD feels trapped in endless anxiety. But the simple act of walking his service dog each morning slowly brings him back into a sense of normal life. Therapy programs around the world rely on dogs to help trauma survivors. Why? Because dogs provide structure, grounding, and a non-judgmental presence that humans sometimes can't. Even if your dog isn't a certified service animal, daily walks can anchor your routine and give your brain something reliable to count on. Sometimes healing doesn't start in a clinic. It starts with a leash, a collar, and a quiet walk down the street. We often say dogs need us to survive, but here's the twist. We need them just as much. Scientists discovered that when humans and dogs make eye contact, both release oxytocin. It's a shared hormonal response, strengthening a bond that has existed for thousands of years. Next time your dog stares at you, don't dismiss it. Hold that gaze for a moment. It's not just affection. It's literally rewiring your brain to feel safer and more connected. Healing with a dog isn't a one-way street. It's a two-way exchange of trust, love, and biology. Here's a number that might surprise you. Dog owners are 34% more likely to hit the recommended daily exercise. The American Heart Association confirms that regular walks and playtime don't just benefit your dog, they also lower your risk of depression, heart disease, and anxiety. So instead of thinking of your dog walk as a chore, reframe it as free therapy and fitness training rolled into one. Who needs a personal trainer when you've already got a furry one wagging at the door? In 5 years, therapy dogs could be as common in offices as coffee machines. Sounds wild, right? But it's already happening. Companies like Google and Amazon run dog-friendly office programs. Early research shows employees in these environments report lower stress levels and higher job satisfaction. If your workplace isn't pet-friendly yet, you can still bring the benefits home. Build a work buddy routine where your dog sits beside you during remote work sessions. It boosts productivity and reduces isolation. The future of workplace wellness might just come with 4 paws and a wagging tail. You know that feeling when your dog rushes to greet you after a terrible day? It's not just cute, it's chemistry. Brain imaging studies reveal that a dog's joyful greeting lights up the same reward centers as winning money or eating your favorite food. That tail wag literally triggers dopamine release, so don't brush your pup off when you walk in the door. Let them celebrate you. It's free brain medicine. That simple tail wag is more than love. It's neuroscience in motion. By the way, if you're finding this helpful, hit subscribe. We've got even more stranger dog behaviors coming up. You won't want to miss it. According to canine researcher Dr. Stanley Coren, dogs aren't just reading body language, they're recognizing our emotions. In controlled studies, dogs correctly distinguished between happy and angry human faces, adjusting their behavior accordingly. That means when you're upset, your dog knows. So don't hide it. Talk to them. They may not understand the words, but they absolutely pick up on your emotional state. Sometimes, the best listener in the house doesn't speak at all. Here's something nobody tells you. Dogs can reduce loneliness even when you're not actively interacting with them. A University of British Columbia study found that students felt less isolated just by having a dog in the room, even if they didn't touch or play with it. So whether you're working from home, studying, or binge-watching, let your dog hang out nearby. Their silent presence can act as a protective buffer against feelings of isolation. Sometimes, healing doesn't come from words or actions. It comes from quiet companionship. Let's flip the script. What happens when you don't have a dog? Surveys during the pandemic showed that people with dogs reported higher resilience and lower loneliness compared to those without pets. Even walking a dog outdoors offered more social interaction than staying inside. If you don't own a dog, you can still tap into this healing power. Volunteer at a shelter, foster a dog, or offer to walk a neighbor's pup. You don't have to own a dog to feel the healing power of one. A child with autism who hadn't smiled in months finally lights up. Not because of therapy sessions, but because of a golden retriever gently placing its head in his lap. This isn't rare. Therapy Dog Program's worldwide report, Breakthroughs in Children with Autism, PTSD Survivors, and Patients with Severe Anxiety. But here's the kicker. Dogs don't just improve mental health, they can predict it. Studies show dogs detect biochemical changes that signal panic attacks, sometimes minutes before they happen. That means, if you live with anxiety, training your dog to recognize early warning signs could be life-changing. Some service dogs are already trained to nudge, paw, or alert before a full-blown episode occurs. It's not just comfort, they may actually see storms in your mind before you do. You might have heard people say, dogs don't feel emotions like humans. That's completely wrong. Neuroscience has shown dogs have mirror neurons, meaning they reflect our emotional states. That's why your stress makes them restless, and your calm makes them relax. Be mindful of what you're radiating. If you want your dog to be calm, you need to model that calm. Your vibe doesn't just affect the room, it becomes your dog's reality. Ever wonder why therapy dogs are brought into hospitals more than any other animal? Clinical trials show that patients visited by dogs report less anxiety, lower pain perception, and even faster recovery compared to patients who don't get visits. Even if you can't bring your dog into a hospital, you can support therapy dog organizations in your community. Donations, volunteering, or simply spreading awareness helps expand access. Sometimes the best medicine doesn't come from a bottle, it comes on 4 legs with a wagging tail. Nearly 50% of dog owners say their pets saved them from crushing loneliness. That's not just sentimental, it's survival. Surveys across the US and UK show dogs are emotional safety nets, especially during major life stress like divorce, grief, or social isolation. When you feel isolated, lean into that bond. Set intentional connection time with your dog, just like you would schedule a coffee with a friend. Loneliness loses when paws are near. Imagine this. In the future, a doctor hands you 2 prescriptions, one for medication and one for adopting or fostering a dog. Pilot programs in Europe already integrate dogs into treatment plans for depression and PTSD. Early data shows better recovery rates when therapy includes animals. Push for more animal-assisted therapy access in your own community. Ask clinics, therapists, and policymakers about it. The science is strong, and the future of care could be furry. Soon, healing might come with a wagging tail right beside your prescription slip. So, whether it's lowering stress, easing loneliness, or even predicting anxiety, dogs aren't just pets, they're healers. Every wag, every cuddle, every walk contributes to your mental health in ways science is only beginning to understand. Cherish that bond, and you'll find your own resilience growing stronger. This video is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional mental health advice. Always consult a qualified expert for your personal situation.